Day. Welcome to Kind of Funny Games Daily for Tuesday, September 18th, 2018. I'm one of your hosts, Jared Petty, alongside the boss.
Oh, hello. Is
Tina.
That me?
That's you.
Oh, crap.
Tina Amini, the boss.
Thank you.
I mean, you're the boss, right?
In some respects of the word.
You're the boss of many people.
Of some people.
Of some people.
Not all on the planet.
Not all. How, Would you like to be the boss of all on the planet?
Too much pressure.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Who are you?
I am Tina Amini, as you said. What an intro, by the way, right out of the bat. I am the editorial manager of games at IGN, and I'm a human being, and I'm other things too, probably. I don't know.
You have
that about covers it, though.
Okay, your name is Tina. You
Yes.
are a boss and a human being. That covers the whole thing.
Yeah,
All right,
I think
definitely.
so.
Well, this is
IGN
your
somewhere in there.
Kind of Funny debut. It's great having you over
Off
here.
to a good start.
You've been over at IGN how long now?
Oh boy, like 6 months.
Okay.
Yeah, still a bit of a baby.
And you run the game side of that organization.
Yeah, all of games content. So all of your complaints.
And this is Kind of Funny Games Daily, the show about the games you care about. Each and every weekday, we bring you the news that's fit to know. I think I'm probably stealing from the New York Times there or something close. That's the news that's fit to print.
Yeah, exactly. So we can say fit to talk about on podcast and video.
There we go. Excellent. I like that.
There's no copyright complaints there. I think we're cool.
Most marvelous. You can watch live, as some of you are right now, at twitch.tv/kindoffunnygames. You can watch later on demand at youtube.com/kindoffunnygames. You can tell us right now, even as we speak, everything we get wrong, every detail, every factual error that we make by going to kindoffunny.com/you're wrong and filling in the form. Tina, are you going to do it during the show? You're going to let us know what we got wrong?
Yeah, that's why I have
go?
my phone here specifically for that. I mean, this is the greatest thing about direct feedback, right?
I was noticing you are well prepared.
Always.
Okay, you have prepared for the Jackass Circus better than most do.
I try my best.
What's with the preparation?
Well, as we were just talking about before the show, I have a bit of a habit of trying to get the highest score, whether that was in school or in video games. So I find preparation is the best for that.
Okay. Do you think you over prepare or prepare just the right amount?
I think I prepare just the right amount, which is over preparing. Okay. I'd rather be over prepared than under prepared, right?
So how long did you spend getting ready for the show today?
I've scheduled all my jokes.
Wow.
So.
I'm impressed. Well, we'll find out if they're funny. Let us know, and you're wrong. Actually, that's not what you're wrong. So, housekeeping. Tina Amini is indeed here. Also, in addition to that, hey, IGN's hosting a St. Jude's charity stream from 1 to 7 tomorrow.
That's right. Yes. Thanks for the plug.
Yeah. Well, I want to. I have self-serving motives. I'm going to be on there along with a bunch of other wonderful personalities and friends playing all kinds of fun games. If you want to support a worthy cause, St. Jude's Children's Hospital, from 1 to 7 p.m., hop over to IGN, watch that charity stream. Come say hi to me. I'll be on between 4 and 5, somewhere in that period of time. Tina, you going to be on it all tomorrow?
I won't, but okay. I will be watching in solidarity.
Yeah, but there will be a lot.
Specifically your segment.
Oh, well, thank you. I appreciate that. It's nice to feel solid. Also, in addition to that, happy Switch Day. We'll get to that in just a moment. I don't usually feel solid. I feel more bulbous, like pulling.
See, that's that human thing.
That's the human thing? Yeah, just, okay, there we go. It's a little more bulbous. It's not quite solid. I want it to be solid, but I don't want to work for it.
Yeah, it's impossible.
Is it impossible?
Yeah, maybe in 10 years' time.
Okay.
We'll see how far science has advanced.
Has advanced till then? I see. Today, we're brought to you by MeUndies and Loot Crate, but I'll tell you about that later, because right now it's time for what is, and forever will be, the Roper Report. Time for some news. Ladies and gentlemen, 13 items on the Roper Report
honest
today.
baker's dozen!
An honest baker's dozen! 13! This does not happen often. I feel like we're batting the cycle in baseball. Get a single, a double, a triple, and a home run all in the same game.
All in one. What a day to be here.
It is.
What a day to be alive.
This is rare. I don't know the last time this happened. Perhaps one of the best friends can let us know. I'd really like to know. 13 stories.
Hopefully we're not stretching on any of those.
No, I think we got some good ones there. Stretching, surely not. Yeah, around the time it got to 11 or 12, I was like, we're going to make it.
We got to just find whatever's out there.
Make it happen. Kevin, how you feeling about this real Baker's Dozen?
Pretty stoked, man. This is exciting times. Exciting times.
A lot of news today. Let's start with one of the maybe smaller stories, but interesting for some here. New FORTNITE Switch bundle announced. This by Adam Bankhurst of Ye Olde.
Yes, of IGN.com.
IGN.com, a place you can go for news, features, previews, guides, and other stuff about video games.
That's true.
Even reviews.
And entertainment.
And others, comics and
comics, TV shows, movies.
Scientific philosophy.
Sometimes.
Okay, there we go. Nintendo has revealed a Nintendo Switch FORTNITE bundle that includes the free-to-play game, 1,000 V-Bucks, and the Double Helix set. The Nintendo Switch FORTNITE Double Helix bundle will launch October 5th, 2018 for $299 US. No word on UK pricing as of yet. The same price as the standard Nintendo Switch. The bundle will include the previously mentioned 1,000 V-Bucks and the Double Helix set, which contains a character outfit, back bling, glider, and pickaxe. Do you care about special Switch bundles?
If the Switch itself had been modified in some way, like the Pokemon one that we saw, I believe it was Let's Go, that was super cute. It had Pikachu on the back. Then that'd be one thing. The whole thing about the Switch is you got those cute Joy-Cons and they can be different colors. Yeah. Like, why no Fortnite bundle?
Will you put a llama on it? What are you going to put on a bus?
I don't even play Fortnite, and I just want to see like what that bundle would be.
What it looks like? Yeah. I do love it.
Feels like a missed opportunity.
So it's nice to get extra stuff always in the box,
yes,
but
that's true.
You do like the decorated stuff.
Yeah, exactly. Especially for the Switch. You're carrying that around. It's basically part of your ensemble. So you want it to look like Fortnite, I guess.
What's your favorite custom hardware?
So this is doesn't count as my personal favorite, but I just have a good fond memory of it. It was a Gears of War Xbox 360, and it made all sorts of noises when you would turn it on, like the growls and stuff, and I liked that.
It's like
something like that. That's a pretty good impression.
It seems like number 2. I love this one. Dad gets toddler to wow, if I could learn to speak, we'll read it. Dad gets toddler to climb inside prize machine and steal Nintendo consoles. This from Luke Plunkett at Kotaku.
My former.
You guys work together?
Yeah.
Yeah. You were at Kotaku for how long?
4 years.
4 years there. What was your job at Kotaku?
I was deputy editor at the time.
What do you think of those folks? Yeah, all right.
So they're great, yeah. Except they stopped playing Destiny with me, so actually they're terrible.
Oh, wow.
I'm looking at you, Jason.
You heard it here first. IGN, what's your title again?
Editorial Manager of Games.
IGN Editorial Manager of Games. Tina Amini says
Throw
Kotaku
in some shade.
Sucks now.
Yeah.
That's right. All right, pick it up.
Only read IGN.
That's right.
I don't know if we want to. I feel like maybe we're going too far with that one.
Boy, you don't think people are going to do the pickup on that right now? Get that earned media? You want it. Number 2. Man, I can't read this morning. A man is wanted by police after being filmed sending his daughter inside a barber cut light cabinet, where she was able to get her tiny hands on some prizes and retrieve them before the pair and another child believed to be the man's son left the scene. By the way, a barber light cabinet, if I'm correct, are one of those kind of like a UFO claw machine, but they're the ones that you have the little cutter blade that comes out and cuts the plastic thing, and you reach up and grab it. She's apparently getting inside the machine and just taking the prizes.
Yeah, that's what this story needs, is more blades and possibilities for getting cut. Jeez.
Yeah, I don't want to misrepresent it, but I'm pretty sure that's a barber cut cabinet. The Union leader reports that security at the mall at Rockingham Park in New Hampshire was alerted to the man's scheme by a hostess at a restaurant opposite the machine, who told the site 2 people came in, and I heard them say, "That's so unsafe." So I went outside, and all I saw was the toddler's head peeping out of the front of the machine. She says the man made off with multiple prizes, among them a Nintendo Switch and a, quote, Game Boy DS. So we're going to guess that's a 3DS.
Yes.
If there's a Game Boy DS in this world and it's in a machine...
How do we not know about it?
Yeah, I'm climbing into a machine to steal a Game Boy DS if it exists.
Yeah, and please do a hands-on video impression for us. Thanks.
Absolutely. Just be me.
Also, of you getting in there.
Yeah, I think it'd be fun to watch.
Don't use children.
Yeah, no, if I tried to climb into one of those machines, when Winnie the Pooh gets stuck in Rabbit's hole?
That's adorable sounding, though.
That's what it would be like.
Yeah, we need to recreate this.
Okay, I can do that.
It's going to be wildly painful for you, Jared.
I identify with Winnie the Pooh. Actually, I did get stuck once behind a piece of furniture like Winnie the Pooh. That's another story for another day. Local police are now asking for help from the public to locate the man. So there we go. Thoughts, Tina?
Who does this? Just who and why? I mean, is it really that important? Go buy a Switch. Like the medical costs alone for the possibility of what could have happened, and the psychology that has to go into an examination after the fact, surely surpasses the price of a Game Boy DS, the non-existent Game Boy DS, and the Nintendo Switch.
The child endangerment for the sake of profit, probably not a wise choice. On the other hand, the kid does get a great story to tell for the rest of their lives.
Yeah, the fact that it ended okay is probably fine for the kid to take that story on. And, having that Nintendo Switch, and I hope that, that she got it. That she gets to play with the Nintendo Switch.
Oh,
that is not for the dad.
What if this is like for the dark web, for the black market? Oh,
just the story of it, or to be resold?
To be resold. Oh,
like the Nintendo Switch that made headlines.
But I don't want to trivialize endangering your child for the sake of profit. That's not okay.
Yeah, who does that?
Dangerous.
Yes.
Yes.
It's a mechanical machine that you're
You can
putting
get
a
trapped
child
in there. Although I guess we have heard so many stories of children themselves not under supervision of their parents crawling in and then just like sitting there amongst all of the toys because they wanted to reach in. So
we've all wanted to do it.
That's different.
Well, you've got the Moss.
Yeah, but not under parental supervision.
You've got the Moss like IT crowd gag, being inside the claw machine. I understand that fascination. It all goes all the way to Toy Story.
And it's frustrating as all hell that you can't get any of those toys out. So I can imagine the impulse to want to crawl in. But again, not under parental supervision.
The reason is, so here's where I'm going to sound puritanical for a second. I lived in a small town in North Carolina where a toddler at a wedding that my family was attending. I wasn't in the room when this happened, but my parents were, if I remember correctly. Anyway, at a wedding, the toddler pulled a portable bar at a restaurant over on top of themselves and died.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. A
bar.
portable bar like that you had in a hotel restaurant. It was pulled out for the wedding,
a
rolling bar.
A table with liquor on it.
The toddler pulled it. It fell on him and killed him.
Damn.
Yeah, died right there.
Sad.
See, this is the thing, is that children are always unintentionally trying to kill themselves. So you have to be watching out for them at all times and definitely not encouraging them to further put themselves in danger.
But if it's safe,
It's not safe to climb into a piece of industrial machinery.
Yes, unless this guy was the original creator of this thing and could personally vouch for the safety of this one edition of this one particular unit, then there's no excuse. And even then, it's like a stretch.
You just look at it and you're like, it's be fun.
Number 3. Destiny 2 fans are conflicted.
You're never babysitting for me. Yeah.
Don't let Kevin babysit. That's the answer to this.
That's the lesson to this story.
I've been a fantastic babysitter. My little brother still got all his fingers.
Kevin, is there anything you're bad at?
What about his toes, though? Feels like you left that one out intentionally.
It's true.
Stronger than most.
10 fingers, 8 toes. Destiny 2 fans are conflicted over Forsaken's raid requirements. This from Adam Bankhurst at IGN. Destiny 2's latest raid, Last Wish, launched last Friday as part of the new Forsaken expansion. And of all the Guardians who attempted to conquer its challenge, only 18 Guardians completed the raid in the first 24 hours and 2 minutes. According to Destiny Raid Report, the first team of Guardians to complete Last Wish and become the world first were members of Clan Redeem and finished in 18 hours and 48 minutes. Yes, that's 18 hours and 48 minutes straight.
Where do the bathroom breaks go?
Catheters.
I think at that point
They got IV in one and a catheter out the other way.
Somebody's peeing in a Mountain Dew bottle, I think. Somebody's got a chemical toilet, maybe.
Maybe it's like a LaCroix. Why does it have to be Mountain Dew?
It could be LaCroix. Well, I mean, I don't know about you, but when I pee,
gaming, Jared.
I'm reasonably sure that I pee more than this at any given deposit.
That's why you have multiple.
I would love to see that, verify that.
You want to watch me pee?
I don't have to visually verify it. I would like you to go in there with a LaCroix can and see.
Is this like
that's a lot?
A
8
new
ounces?
version of a pee test, like a urine sample
this is
test?
just,
First off,
Kind of Funny doesn't do drug tests. They do like LaCroix
tests. So check the essential oils in my urine
Jared,
stream.
you drink
Exactly.
An obscene amount of liquid.
I do drink a lot.
Yeah.
I do drink a lot of
That's
liquid.
good. That's
I'm
healthy.
actually shocked
do you
right
drink a
now.
lot?
Yeah, I try to, but small bladder, so big problems.
Oh, okay. Just switch off there. What were you saying, Kevin? I'm sorry to
It's too
interrupt
much
you.
information.
Oh, no, it's totally fine. I'm just saying you drink. I'm surprised right now you only have 1 can. Typically you have 3.
Well, yeah, I usually bring more than one, but I have been drinking a lot of coffee this morning, getting ready for the show. So I was trying to, but yeah, I'm probably going to ask for
That's
one.
why he has so much energy.
He's like, got it there. Exactly. If you were checked for what is most of your body made up with? Like, what do you
Water.
consume? Water? Just water?
Every human is mostly
Well, see, I'm not. I'm at least
No, but, like, literally,
60%
physically.
key lime LaCroix flavoring.
Specifically that one?
Yeah, specifically.
Yeah,
Key
you and
lime and
Gary
coconut.
Whitta.
Yeah, Gary too. Yeah. Oh, key lime's so
I
good.
prefer the lemon or the lime. Everything else is pretty much garbage.
Whoa.
Okay.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
Have you had the cherry lime though?
No, but that sounds garbage too.
It's delicious.
Willing to bet.
It's got lime in it, so I feel like
Do you
that's
have one?
50%. No,
Bring it over.
I took them all home.
Tina, do you ever
course you
watch? You can't do that on television. The old,
No.
Okay, that's the old Canadian Nickelodeon show where they dump slime on you if you say the words "I don't know." If you say LaCroix is garbage here, there's a bucket up there that just dumps
of just LaCroix.
slime. Yeah, just
There's a
LaCroix.
combination of all the flavors.
Yeah, you get baptized in LaCroix. There's a news story here somewhere. For comparison, Destiny 2's first raid, Leviathan, was finished in 5 hours 34 minutes, and over 4,500 Guardians finished this raid in the first 24 hours. Last Wish went online September 14th 14th at 10 a.m. PT, and when the raid was finally bested, new content was unlocked for all players in Destiny 2. In addition, the teams who completed Last Wish in the first 24 hours earned an exclusive emblem and access to a personalized Last Wish raid jacket for completing it before the first weekly reset. These facts brought up a question. With only 18 Guardians completing in Last Wish in the first 24 hours and 750 in the first 3 days, how does the community at large feel about the strict requirements and hard work that must be put in to stand a chance to be one of the lucky few to obtain world first or complete a raid in the first 24 hours? So we're going to stop the reading. You can read through the rest of that article because it goes on quite a while, and I recommend you do.
We're very thorough at IGN.
Thorough indeed.
Yeah.
But I want to ask you, Tina, you play Destiny 2. You were just calling out Kotaku for being a bunch of complete losers.
So I don't play it anymore,
So you don't have your friends anymore. Do you not play anymore?
I don't play anymore because of that fact. Although now that I'm at IGN, everyone's kind of been hankering for me to play. So that's the intention. And honestly, Forsaken is the reason why I would rejoin. So yeah, the raid does sound pretty intimidating. But here's the thing. It always starts off pretty excessive and extreme, and then people figure out the little like nooks and crannies, and then you start rolling with a crew who's played it before, so it goes through a little bit more streamlined. So it's fine that it's almost a full day that, you know, I don't know how I would even find 18 hours and 48 minutes to dedicate strictly to the raid. But it is sort of the spirit of Destiny in a way, you know, like some collaborating on a really difficult challenge and then kind of grinding through it over and over.
So is the spirit of Destiny collaborate? And this, I give Destiny a lot of crap, mostly because it's fun and easy. Not
Also
because...
not good.
It's fun to give it crap.
That's my opinion.
Yeah. Oh, what, Destiny's not good?
I don't like it.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan either.
Yeah,
but
the shooting sucks.
Lots of people do. Lots of people love this. Lots of people love this.
I got dumb thumbs, so.
So when you talk... Oh, you got dumb thumbs?
Yeah.
Oh, you're good at video games.
No. That's one thing. When you were like, what are you not good at? I'm not good at video games.
Huh? I'm not good at
You
video games
don't have to be
either.
good at video games to enjoy video games.
That's very true.
But you might have to be good at video games to enjoy Destiny.
Yes. Maybe.
Are you good at video games?
I'm really good at shooters, so
Okay.
I'm fine with Destiny.
I
like it.
have the manual dexterity of Stephen Hawking.
Well, it's also like you have to coordinate with the team, so it's a lot of like intersocial skills. So you know, I've rolled with some crews who are fond of yelling at one another very passionately.
Yeah.
So that's one experience.
Makes sense. Makes absolute sense.
Yeah.
Do you think that Destiny is... Do you think that masochism is a part of the appeal? I mean, is the gauntlet, is it that Dark Soulsy, I am throwing down a super challenge in front of you thing? Or?
No, because it's not that, because it's really weighted out very well with other kinds of experiences that are much easier to go through. Like I'll blow through public events, and those are really easy because people just pop in and out very frequently. So those are you know, an experience that kind of balances out between the really big difficult boss fights. So it does not feel like a Dark Souls at all, because I'm not great with that. Although with Dark Souls, you know, more so with Bloodborne, like I could play with somebody and feel like the challenge was a little bit lighter. It's a lighter load because you're kind of lifting the baggage together.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I don't think it's a masochistic thing in that vein, because there's still easy moments and there's still like really gratifying moments. And the loot is pretty. When the loot is good, the loot is good. Yeah. When it's not, you know, you want to kill some people.
Yeah. Also, I totally
to get better loot.
Totally should not have compared my manual dexterity to Stephen Hawking. That was terrible.
I thought you were going a bit far there.
No, Dr. Hawking was awesome, and I should not in any way joke about that. So I apologize. That was
his
dumb.
voice is trademarked?
What, Dr. Hawking's?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was customized for him. Like he actually selected his voice. Yeah. And he's had more than one voice in his life too. That's another thing. He changed voices at one point.
Oh, you guys are just filled with Snapple facts.
I love Dr. Hawking. He's a hero to me. Like his books changed my life. I mean,
I can see that.
Yeah, have you read him often?
No, not nearly in depth enough.
The nice thing about Hawking was he so often just wanted to make physics. He was like the good science teacher.
Yeah,
the one that's like starts with here's why it's awesome and then here's how it works instead of the other way around.
Yeah.
And oh man,
it's a good tactic.
Well, thanks for the expert Destiny commentary.
Oh yeah. Also, the players who won Clan Redeemed, they also got a belt.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and then they unlocked content for all other players who were playing Forsaken too. So there's like an in-game message, a cutscene, a map, a strike, all that sort of thing.
Belt.
Collaboration.
Like a championship belt.
Yeah, a championship belt.
Is it like big and gaudy?
I believe so. I looked at it at some point and then out of my memory. So, but I believe so. Yeah.
If you had a championship belt, because we have a championship here, kind of funny. I don't understand how it works exactly. I don't think anyone else. Yeah. Would you wear a big giant belt around?
I absolutely would not, but it would be very sparkly and gold. That's how I imagine my championship belt.
So even though you wouldn't wear it, it would still be sharp.
Yeah, I would frame it, put it somewhere.
Oh, okay, that works. All right.
But you don't wear it. Who wears a championship belt?
If I was the champ, I'd wear that belt every goddamn day.
I believe it.
How do you wash a championship belt?
No, you don't have to. It kind of like you.
New information comes to light.
What is it with you and peeing in cans and not changing your clothes
and putting children at risk?
Calm down a second. I want you to pee in a can. I don't think the kids are going to be in risk, and keeping. Do you wash your belt? Period.
We're like,
if you're gonna wear it every day.
Nobody washes their belt.
We're like 3 items in, and you are a complete garbage person. I'm really worried about this.
Why am I the problem? What sick psychopath washes their belt?
If you're gonna wear it every day.
If it's like a leather belt.
I don't know. Are championship belts leather? Aren't they metal?
No, leather and metal.
Yeah, so you get like fingerprints on it. It'll pick up a bunch of gunk. What if you go on a run? Because you're gonna wear it every day, apparently, right?
It's gonna tarnish.
What if you go work out?
That weird like
I do not work out.
Turquoise
By the way,
stuff.
leather cleaner is a thing.
Yeah.
All right, well, that's good information. I don't wash my leather bands on my watch.
Kevin, I know you've got some kind of pleather S&M suit in your closet, and you better be washing it. That's all I got to say.
Suit. I do not.
Speaking of pleather S&M, item number 4. Let's get Donald Trump's wiener out of the way.
Oh, Lord.
Are we
the
already
Guardian's
at that part of the
Tom
day?
McCarthy. Yep, here we go. The Guardian's Tom McCarthy via Stormy Daniels. So story came up today. The Guardian broke some of the details from Stormy Daniels' new book, and it included this little tidbit from McCarthy's article. She describes Trump's penis as, quote, smaller than average, end quote, but, quote, not freakishly small, end quote. He knows he has an unusual penis, Daniels writes. It has a huge mushroom head like a toadstool.
Oh.
I lay there annoyed that I was getting fucked by a guy with Yeti pubes and a dick like a mushroom character in Mario Kart. It may have been the least impressive sex I've ever had, but clearly he didn't share that opinion. Our focus on this today is the sentence, or the part of the sentence, a dick like the mushroom character in Mario Kart, because this story, such as it is, took the internet, the Twitters, as it were, by storm today. Mario Kart was trending, Toad was trending, Stormy Daniels was trending, and when we all stopped to see why, we learned about our president's nether regions.
We actually have an exclusive picture of it.
We do.
At IGN.
Oh, you have
captured by Max Scoville.
Oh, you had an exclusive picture?
An exclusive picture.
Oh,
you remember the description? What was it again?
I believe the description was smaller than average, but not freakishly small.
Can people
a huge
see
mushroom
if I
head
flip
like a
my phone
toadstool. Kevin can pull it up.
Oh yeah, go to his. Well, no, it's on his Twitter.
Okay, it's on his Twitter. All right.
Give me a second.
All right, gotta find that Max Scoville.
Talk amongst each other.
All right, we're gonna talk about each other. Don't worry, we're gonna vamp here for a moment.
Yes, so
while we bring this thing up.
This incredible story.
All right. Oh, here we go. Do we have the picture here? We have the picture. There.
There you go.
There we are.
Exclusive picture from the IGN offices.
There we are.
It's pretty funny.
All right. So I questioned a lot whether or not to even add this to the list, but then we were at 12, and this would get us to 13, which is a baker's dozen. And I was like, okay.
That was really the priority.
That was really the priority.
That was like the sequence of the conversation that led us here.
But we were going to talk about it before the show anyway, or in housekeeping, because, well, why don't you fill in?
Well, yeah, I mean, if you're curious of the behind-the-scenes conversations that go on in the newsroom at IGN, I go through my feeds every morning, and I saw this story, and I'm of two minds of it, because on the one hand, it seems like a really thinly veiled link to video games. I mean, it's the most out there kind of example that you can get as a jumping off point for us to discuss it. But on the other hand, it's genuinely kind of a cultural moment for video games. And it's not one that I necessarily am proud of, but it is a cultural moment. Everyone is talking about this thing. I mean, it's on The Guardian. It is referencing the president of the United States. And it's a headline that we've been reading for months now of Stormy Daniels. So it's something that's been a part of the conversation. And now people are talking about Mario Kart, and they're talking about Toad. And it's fascinating to me because everyone knows Mario Kart. I mean, Nintendo is iconic. Mario Kart is iconic. And even if you don't know Toad's name, Toad is iconic.
Yeah, this is no more or no less, is no more and no less newsworthy than Ninja and Drake playing video games together and that exploding and becoming a cultural moment. And that's why we're talking about it, because video games exist in a very strange place. They are, in many ways, the world's largest, fastest growing entertainment industry. At the same time, all of us are pretty aware of our video game inferiority complex, I think, that we either grew up with or sometimes still experience, where like it's this thing that exists maybe outside the mainstream, maybe right in the middle, depends on who you ask. That's a long discussion.
But then you have these moments where it pops up into like popular culture conversation and political conversation and across like mainstream media. It's fascinating to see.
Everybody knows the little mushroom guy from Mario Kart.
Yeah. So it's FORTNITE and it's Toad and Mario Kart.
Yeah, I can't remember who it was I heard say once that the 3 video games your grandma's heard of are Pac-Man, Super Mario, and Doom originally. And that was about a decade ago. Now I think it might be Candy Crush, FORTNITE, and I mean, there's plenty. Like people have heard of World of Warcraft, right? That's pretty big. WoW or Tetris, things like that.
Yeah, Tetris, yeah.
But it doesn't always break through. Here we have it. I think the fun of this is Stormy Daniels could have picked any simile or metaphor on Earth to describe the president's genitals.
Well, maybe this was just the most fitting.
Maybe so. I mean, maybe it's just like, maybe she looked down and it was like, oh, look!
God.
Maybe it was just like a vegetable.
No, stop.
It's ruining Mario Kart for me even more.
There we go. I win.
No.
Yeah, there we go. Oh.
It's bad.
So, what a day. Ironically, this is of the 4 first stories, this is the one Kevin had the least dirty thing to say about. And we move on. Number 5,
That's how
Kingdom
you know
Hearts.
He's so innocent.
What's that?
That's how you know he's so innocent.
He is. He's pure. He is pure.
Yeah.
Not as pure as the pure one, Tim Geddes, but pure. Kingdom Hearts 3 box art revealed. This by SHABANA ARIF at IGN. Square Enix has revealed the box art for Kingdom Hearts 3 designed by series director Tetsuya Nomura. The cover art for Kingdom Hearts 3 has been unveiled ahead of its release early next year over on the game's official Twitter account. The artwork created by Kingdom Hearts series director Nomura features a handful of iconic characters from the games, including, oh Lord, I'm not even going to pronounce that. There we are. Is that the proper pronunciation?
Yeah. Because I overprepared and I looked this up in advance.
Thank God, because the last thing you want to do is say anything wrong about Kingdom Hearts on camera.
Exactly.
From 358 over 2 days, or 358 divided by 2 days, or 358 the square root of 2 days, or something like that. Negative b plus minus b squared minus 4ac over 2, or square root of 4ac.
How did you know the title of the next one?
Yeah. Kingdom Hearts 2.96 Dream Drop Disco, whose presence has provided the basis of quips from fans. Kingdom Hearts X Darkling has even made it on the cover. Lord, I hope X is the name of that, not 10. Leading fans to praise Square Enix for the inclusion of characters from the mobile games. And from Mitch Cresson. Holy Kingdom Hearts, that cover is beautiful. My question for you guys is, as someone who is not into Kingdom Hearts, or not that into Kingdom Hearts, what do you think of the amount of trailers shown? Too much? Not enough? Just right? Thanks, and I'm super excited. Come January. Tina, your thoughts?
So actually, to go back to the box art for just a moment, I'm also not personally a giant Kingdom Hearts fan, not for any other reason than I just never got into it. But our own Jonathan Dornbush is, and I got some quotes from him so that I came from a expert kind of perspective here to say what he loves about it. So he said that he loves that it encapsulates the entire franchise in a single image. It has all the characters, even from side games that he didn't imagine that they'd put in. There are a couple characters we aren't sure would even be in the game like Xion. Or what their role would be in the game. But to have them be on the box art signifies what they've been saying, that they want to make every aspect of the franchise matter. So it's like every era of Kingdom Hearts, the prequel, the main game, the side games, with bits of Disney, but no whiff of Final Fantasy.
This is some beautiful preparedness.
Yeah, I'm
really impressed.
Yeah, I mean, he's our Kingdom Hearts expert. So
I do feel like, Tina, I think you do a great job over there at IGN, but I do think you've missed an opportunity. I think there needs to be an internet series. You make a lot of good video series over at IGN, where you take Alexa Ray Correa, who's now at Nintendo, but for a while was a free agent, and Jonathan Dornbush, and you put them in a canoe. And they're out on a tranquil lake, and then you have another camera crew in the other canoe, and you just mic them, and it's just Jonathan Dornbush and Alexa Ray Correa going around a lake at a canoe talking about Kingdom Hearts until you run out of space on your SD card. I think
because it wouldn't be them running out of conversation.
No.
It would definitely be running out of space.
Exactly. I think that series, Kingdom Hearts in a canoe.
Yeah. Well, there's a lot to talk about too. I mean, it's been a long running series with a lot of barriers to entry there. So
yes,
which is why you can't say anything bad about Kingdom Hearts.
I really do believe that Kingdom Hearts, the comparisons to the Bible are not without merit. Just as confusing, just as controversial, and just as fanatical.
Yeah, exactly.
So you're not huge into Kingdom Hearts. What do you think of Mitch's question here?
Well, so I think that because to your point, because it is so biblical and so extensive, seeing more is not a detriment to the game, especially for the fans, like for the hardcore fans. Like they always want to know more. They want to know exactly how long. Like that's a big question: is how long is the game? And that's for other series. I don't think that's nearly as important as it is for fans of Kingdom Hearts. So I think the more the merrier.
I'm looking forward to playing it. I really am. I give the fans a lot of crap because most of them are great and a few of them are insane. But I actually really want to play this game. It's a game set in a fancy, beautiful, gorgeous universe with characters I love doing things that don't make any sense, but they hit stuff with a big key, and I'm totally into that.
And it is a gorgeous piece of box art. Yeah, weird for a box art, though. It's very busy.
Yeah, I like busy sometimes.
It has to be. There's so many characters in that game. So
exactly, it kind of looks like the cover for like a Marvel versus Capcom. Like there's just so much going on there, or like maybe a Star Wars ensemble cast movie poster or something.
A lot of gorgeous sky as a backdrop.
Red Dead GTA Exec. The closed system walls are coming down. This from Eddie Makuch of GameSpot. The video game industry lags behind TV, movies, and music in that the content you own on one platform does not always move with you to the next, but those days might be coming to an end. The CEO of Rockstar Games' parent company Take-Two Interactive said during a recent presentation it's just a matter of time before the video game industry more widely adopts cross-platform opportunities. Eventually, I think we'll be in a cross-platform world with a lot of titles, Strauss Zelnick said during the Goldman Sachs Communicorpia, just during some Golden Sox conference, certainly between console and PC. Zelnick said Microsoft is basically already there, which is presumably a reference to the company's Xbox Play Anywhere system. As part of this, buying a supported game on one platform, Xbox or PC, gets you a copy of it on the other system with all progress and achievements moving between the two. More widely, Zelnick said he believes the closed system walls must come down and the emergence of streaming will help. The closed system walls are coming down and they have to, he said. Streaming is going to accelerate those walls coming down. We're all here for the consumers. If you're going to create rules that don't benefit consumers, but somehow you think benefit your enterprise, you're mistaken. Consumers will go elsewhere. You have to pay attention to what the consumer wants. Also during the presentation, Zelnick spoke about his belief that game streaming will truly take off in the next 1 to 3 years. Companies that operate hyperscale data centers around the world are the best positioned to have success because that global infrastructure will help latency concerns. He didn't mention any companies by name, but Microsoft has already confirmed it's working on a game streaming service. It has data centers around the world. If streaming takes off, the addressable market for video games expands by a massive measure. Zelnick pointed out there are around 120 million combined PS4 and Xbox One units on the market today, compared to about 2 billion PCs. While the total addressable market would unquestionably increase with potential size, some people may still prefer consoles or traditional boxes. So Zelnick said he can't say for sure what kind of an impact streaming would have on how much the video game industry stands to expand. Generally speaking, when you make a product more widely available, more people will buy it, Zelnick said. However, he cautioned that he doesn't expect streaming to be the sea change that others in the video game industry are expecting it to be. In addition to Microsoft, EA is working on a game streaming service. Sony already operates a streaming service in the form of PlayStation Now. A lot to unpack there.
I like that it was pretty balanced because like this one line about how he cautions that it won't be the sea change that some people are expecting it to be, that we've already seen it not be. Like, you know, game streams have been, or streaming games rather, it's not a new concept. It's something that started and failed. And it's certainly because of the technological difficulties around that.
Yeah.
So I like that it's a pretty balanced kind of outlook on this. But it's, you know, as long as we can get all those T's crossed and I's dotted, I imagine it definitely would impact like how people actually interact with games.
I still feel
buy
like
games.
I think it's coming. I think it could be coming sooner than we think. Infrastructure is still the problem.
Exactly.
Software is sexy. We love to talk about software. People in business love to talk about software. Software development costs are manageable or at least predictable. Software infrastructure creation, you have a reasonable idea how long it's going to take to make something most of the time, at least by comparison to hardware. Hardware is expensive, not sexy, takes forever to build.
Hey, it can be.
Never works the way you want. Oh, you think hardware's sexy?
Yeah, why not?
What, like,
I mean, we obsess over new iPhone models. Like, of course it is.
That's true. There is
Yeah.
that. Okay.
Yeah, and like the white Xbox or the black Xbox.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
there's nothing sexy about an Xbox. I can't.
I like its super simple boxy design.
I do too, but I don't think it's sexy.
Yeah, that's
I
true.
don't know. I think
It's more
that-
like
I think-
functional.
But I think sometimes functional can be very sexy.
For some reason, I can't
How about
get
the slanted PS4 look? How do we feel about that?
I don't like it.
I like it. I like the look of the PS4, but I can't think of a single video game console I would describe as sexy. Can you?
I'm trying to think like how do I feel about my Nintendo Switch?
The PS2 Slim.
The PS2 Slim was a good looking console, but it's not sexy.
Fucking beautiful. Dude.
Yeah,
So
but there's
why
never
does it
been
have to be
being art-
sexy though? Can't it be cute? Like I have an Animal Crossing 3DS and it's pretty adorable.
Oh, I love cute. I love standout. I just said hardware's not often sexy, and I think you raised
Right.
a good counterpoint. People talk about
Yeah.
their phones and that.
Yeah.
But no, they can be attractive. I
Yeah.
think the Wii
They
is
can
the
be
best looking
aesthetically
console ever
pleasing.
made.
The Vita.
The Wii? Oh, you said Vita.
The Vita
No, I said the
was
Wii.
Oh, you said the Wii. Both were wrong, but
Yeah, I think the Wii was
either way.
I
There's-
love the design of the Vita.
the Vita's a good design. What do you think's the best looking one?
I mean, I do like my Animal Crossing 3DS.
That's your favorite
Yeah,
of all?
that's my favorite one.
so adorable.
There's a Legend of Zelda one that's pretty amazing too. It's really just the 3DSs because there's so many of them.
Yeah.
And they're so versatile in terms of aesthetically looking. So
I like the Wii because of the industrial design, attention to detail, the fact that it takes that one corner off motif and takes that all the way down to like the plugs and
Sure.
like every like plug. That's how you determine whether it's in upside down or not. It's the shape of the Wii again.
yeah. How
done
about
in all
least
that-
sexy?
Huh?
How about least sexy?
I did the Xbox, the original
Yeah,
Xbox.
agreed. Especially with that brick.
Oh,
Yeah, that just
thing.
adds to it.
The original, the Atari 5200 is pretty bad.
Hmm.
There's a lot of ugly consoles.
I like the Dreamcast.
The Dreamcast.
And the GameCube.
I just want to
Super
hold the
cute.
Dreamcast.
Not
It feels
sexy
so
at all.
good when
Yeah.
you hold the Dreamcast.
Yeah.
Oh, it just feels so good. Yeah, and you're right. The GameCube's good. But
It's adorable.
Back to this. So System Wall's coming down. Yeah, I think so too. I seem like, Mr. Miyamoto, tear down your wall. I mean, but.
Well, it's Sony too.
Yes. Oh, yeah. I didn't mean
Yeah.
to single out Nintendo
Yeah.
at all.
But it is a conversation that a lot of people have been having. I mean, like Pete Hines has been kind of railing against the idea of like crossplay not being a thing for a long time, for the last few months now. And, Fortnite is accessible across platforms. And so it's becoming more of a common thing.
It is, and I mean that the software developers are going to keep pushing for it because ultimately they just want to get games into as many hands as they can.
Yeah, exactly.
And so anyway, Zelnick, when he talks, smart dude. He's always got
Sure.
something. We it seems like every month we have a story.
Yeah,
where this guy speaking
just
at some
from-
conference, and he's always saying something interesting.
You need to get him in on the show.
That would be fantastic. If you'd like to come, please do, sir.
Shout
Mr.
out.
Strauss Zelnick. Absolutely. Capcom expects to lose $40 million after canceling Dead Rising Studios games. This by SHABANA ARIF of IGN.
Look at that.
Yeah. Capcom has announced that it expects to incur 4.5 billion yen, about $40 million US, in losses following the termination of a number of projects at its Vancouver studio. In the wake of a restructure of Capcom Vancouver earlier this year that resulted in around 30% of the studio being laid off and the apparent cancellation of an unannounced game, Capcom has disclosed the termination of the projects. The Dead Rising studio will amount to a $40 million loss under cost of sales for the 6 months of the fiscal year ending March 31st, 2019. According to Kotaku, the canceled project at Capcom Vancouver was a third-person action adventure set in an alternate reality version in New York. The layoffs were also accompanied by the news that the scope of the next Dead Rising game would be cut back. The losses at Vancouver reflect Capcom's ongoing review of the allocation of its developing resources that support the production of world-class content, with the studio being responsible for the majority of development of titles for the global market outside of Japan. However, thanks to the resounding success Capcom has had with the launch of Monster Hunter World on the console and PC, the forecast for the company as a whole remains in line with its projected financial results shared back in May. I also have an update. Now, this IGN article may have been updated as well, but I checked this earlier this morning, and just before we went on camera, I saw this at US Gamer from Matt Kim. Capcom's Vancouver design director confirmed the studio will also be closing, following a report from Capcom Japan that it'll be canceling in-development projects at the Canadian studio. Unfortunately, Capcom Vancouver shuttered today. I'm in a bit of a shock, but if you know of anyone looking for an 18-year experienced game designer, send them my way. Capcom Vancouver director Aidan Shanlin confirmed via Twitter.
I read also that they were keeping a few people on just for logistics, which is always the saddest thing. Like, the few remaining that are kind of beholden to carry things out, even though they know it's a dead studio. It's always the sad news, especially at, what was it, like 158 people at that studio?
Pretty good sized studio, I believe.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know the exact number.
And the writing was kind of on the wall because they experienced layoffs before this. So it's just sort of like,
it just kept
heading in this direction.
I was really hoping they would find a way to deflect the layoffs or reassign the team. And
you always hope that the layoffs are the brutal, but maybe necessary, and maybe cuts off right there and kind of,
I hope that was last
stops the trouble. But
so this is awful. We hit here in it. And I'm glad, Capcom's actually had a heck of a year. They've had Monster Hunter World. They've got a new Monster Hunter game out right now on Switch, or a pseudo new one. They've got Resident Evil. The RE2 previews have been spectacular. They got Mega Man 11 coming out. Devil May Cry's on the way.
They have that Monster Hunter Final Fantasy crossover thing going on.
So much stuff going on right now. Capcom is really just doing great stuff. But I suppose
not with Dead Rising.
Bad news.
Yeah. And what does that really mean? I mean, they did say that it would just reduce the scope of the next Dead Rising game, but what does that actually mean for the future of Dead Rising? Yeah,
I
that's
suspect
the question.
a delay. Whenever
Definitely, at the very least.
Rescope,
Yeah.
Rescoping's not always bad.
It's going to be a mobile game, isn't it?
I don't think so.
Just tap on the zombies.
Don't make me sad.
This is no time to laugh, Jared.
No, this is no time to laugh.
This is actually the kind of sad show.
This kind of sad show?
Yeah.
Well, we did talk about President Trump's penis.
Yeah,
so
that was a sad story.
Honestly, we're just going to cry from here on out.
Yeah.
Jared, what do you think about this as our thumbnail?
Oh, yes. Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. I think that's got to happen there.
Nice and simple.
Should he point to Trump?
Oh, that would be...
I feel like that's too much.
It's too on the nose.
Let's be subtle.
Too on the toad.
Unless it was on his nose. We could have him then it'll be directly on the nose. I do like it, though. Very good. Thanks for putting that together. European and U.S. gambling regulators sign agreement to tackle gambling in-game by Jessie Wade of IGN. You put this one on here, Tina. Thank you for that.
Yeah, my pleasure.
The UK Gambling Commission announced Monday that 16 gambling regulators from Europe and the U.S. have signed an agreement to address gambling risks in games. The global agreement includes the countries of Latvia, Czech Republic, Spain, France, Malta, Jersey, Gibraltar, Portugal, Ireland, Isle of Man, UK, Netherlands, Norway, Poland, Austria, and the U.S.'s Washington State. The countries of the U.S. is okay. Oh, I get it. That's a good sentence. Sorry, I got confused for a second. I was like, wait, has Washington succeeded? Have they seceded from the Union? The agreement is described as a declaration of gambling regulators on the concerns related to the blurring of lines between gambling and gaming. Regulators are asking for the video game industry and technology platforms to help in stopping unlicensed third-party websites who are providing in-game gambling. Neil MacArthur, chief executive and signatory for the Gambling Commission, responded to the reasoning of the agreement. We have joined forces to call on video game companies to address the clear public concern around the risks gambling and some video games can pose to children. We encourage video game companies to work with their gambling regulators and take action now to address those concerns to make sure that consumers, and particularly children, are protected, he said. MacArthur added, "We want parents to be aware of the risks and talk to their children about how to stay safe online. For example, unlicensed websites offering skins betting can pop up at any time. Children could be gambling with money intended for computer game products." This agreement marks the first international attempt in regards to the illegal gambling controversy in video games. The signed declaration comes nearly 1 week after EA was put under criminal investigation by the Belgian Gaming Commission for not complying with the country's gambling laws with loot boxes in FIFA 18. The controversy of illegal gambling through loot boxes and skins in-game became heavily discussed after the UK and New Zealand concluded that loot boxes were not illegal under their country's laws, while the Netherlands and Belgium declared that some loot boxes are considered illegal under their laws.
So it's kind of all over the place.
Yeah. That sure is a mess.
Yeah. So this has been going on for what, like the last few months. Some people have been deciding that it is gambling. Some people are deciding it's not. It's infecting politics now in a really interesting way. As a reminder, the ESRB did not classify it as gambling. EA's defense is that they always want to be transparent, fun, fair, in a balanced way, and that you can't cash out or sell any of those items from FIFA 18 for real money. So that's been their defense. But I think it's good that a diverse amount of people are coming together to make these determinations together. Because we do need a kind of like streamlined definition of this. And I like that they stressed that it's about parents talking to their children because of those unlicensed websites, because that is an issue. And I think that is the bigger issue.
Yeah? Why do you think that's a bigger issue?
Just because that access is always popping up, and you hear all these stories about children accidentally spending thousands of their parents' money because there's no like supervision there. So it's a point that is kind of unexplored. Whereas, because most of the time the conversation is very specifically about like, is this gambling? Is this not? What do you think? Is it gambling?
Oh, are we talking about skins? Are we talking about loot boxes? Or we're talking about we are in the middle of 13 things here. I throw a, what do you think at me? You throw it back.
That's how I do it.
I think that the legality around this is right now in a place where we forget about the fact that international law and domestic law are so startlingly different.
Absolutely.
That you can go one place and somebody. I remember when I was in Japan and you could just walk down the street and buy hard liquor out of a vending machine.
Yeah.
In the United States, that would be illegal.
Well, even within the United States, we can't, we don't have consistency or parity between our laws. Between states.
Yeah. So I don't want to pass this off as a relativistic thing. I think that I have a lot of definite opinions on this, but I'm going to wait for a day when we don't have 13 ropers to jump in.
It's a big topic.
That's the treatment I'd want to give it. There's a lot to unpack here, and I agree with you that the child protection angle and emphasis here is something that I haven't seen brought up as much that I think is important.
And I like that it's a mix of European and U.S. regulators, because games are a global experience. So
also Washington State seceding from the Union.
Apparently.
You heard it here first. Spyro fan-made game is moving forward. This from Wesley LeBlanc at Big Twinfinite. A fan-made sequel to the original Spyro trilogy by Insomniac Games is shaping up to be not only a great trip down memory lane, but a brand new nostalgia-fueled story set in the original world of Spyro. Dubbed Spyro Myths Awaken, in this fan-made game, players will see Spyro and Sparks looking for new adventures. The peace Spyro and Sparks live in at the time of the game's start won't last long, according to the team member Cyrides, I can't say that right, as a mysterious figure known as Gaia takes the purple dragon away to Mythica, a mythical realm, hey, who knew, where he'll be tasked with taking down Medusa as she searches for immortality. Myths Awaken will take place sometime after the Year of the Dragon. It will feature many realms just like the original games. When all said and done, the game will have 4 home worlds, 4 boss realms, 4 mini-boss realms, and 24 standard realms. Currently, there's not a release date or even a release window. The project only began in February of last year, so it could be years before fans see how this fan-made title pans out. The team seems to be keeping fans involved as they release weekly updates, videos, and more. The latest video was uploaded to YouTube just 15 hours ago. By now, that's a little more. Yes.
This seems really illegal.
Yeah.
Possibly.
So that's fun, ain't it? And that's why I brought it up. I like fan tribute games. I like when people do them. I think they're neat. I watched the video for this one. It certainly looks well made and has a lot of TLC in it.
I think they might get overshadowed by some other Spyro game that's getting released. I can't remember.
Might, yeah.
Pretty exciting, huh?
Entirely possible. Yeah, so Kevin, why don't you chime in on that? He said it seems pretty illegal. Do you care?
I mean, not particularly, but at the same time, like, companies like Nintendo have been known to like take this kind of stuff down immediately, right? There was, I've heard of like Pokemon games that have been made. I can't remember what they're called, like mutants.
I know what you're talking about.
But like, it was announced, people saw screenshots, and like a week later, gone.
There's definitely a precedent for this kind of thing where like they're really. I mean, it's so impressive. You were listing out how many boss battles and mini games. Like
assuming
that's impressive. That's a lot.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. You can dream, but yeah, I mean, it's a lot of work that someone's going to be theoretically like on, as a side just project putting in. And I love that passion and that drive, but there's definitely a precedent for these things just getting shut down, especially when they get media coverage. Oops.
Yeah, and that's the question. But and media coverage has picked up. But do you think this thing will ever make it to completion, or that somebody will kill it first?
I think it's possible that they'll do the wait and see. Because that's what's happened before too. Is like, companies also want to see how far is this going to actually get. Do we want to be the dicks that are saying no, you can't do this thing that you're probably not going to even make any money off of?
Yeah.
And that's the big determining factor too. Are they asking for money or are they just simply releasing it as is? But there's a bunch of like IP copyright infringement issues. So
it doesn't necessarily matter if they're getting money for it. The fact
they
is
might want to
IP
just
is
have
owned,
brand protection and whatever else, and they're totally within their rights to do that.
Yeah, for me, it's a matter of I love fan-made games. I've played fan-made games. That some of because that line between fan game versus if you make the dragon blue and you change his name to Pyro.
Right.
If that's the only difference, then just let him make the darn game.
Pyro, the pyromania.
Yeah, Pyro the Wyvern. I mean, then it's suddenly okay. You take something like a for fun game like Gang Garrison.
And you can say that's some kind of like social commentary thing, and then therefore you're within the bounds of copyright.
Yeah, parody. Suddenly you can pull it off,
exactly.
and that's why if they're not making money on it, I understand you're supposed to defend your trademark. If you don't defend your trademark, you can lose your trademark. I get that. At the same time,
that's an actual legal thing.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
If you don't protect your trademark, you can lose your argument that you have a trademark, even if it's a non-for-profit. But think about Nintendo shutting down the Metroid project right before Metroid came out on 3DS. If I've got my facts
timing
straight
is
there.
everything. See, that's the thing. They might do the wait and see. Or this is it one person making this game or what's this?
I'm sure this is
a team of people. You'd be surprised. Some of them are one person teams. But yeah, I mean it depends on also like their work structure. How far they're actually going to get on their own.
One of my favorite all-time games, a couple of my favorite all-times video games are fan games. One was this NES game where you could play Super Mario Brothers with Simon Belmont and Mega Man. And unlike just being a cute little fan game, when you played with these guys or you played as Link, there was a lot of balance and TLC in the level. Somebody worked really hard to make it work, and it was kind of a step above that usual kind of stuff.
We just need like a legal version, like a maker for everything, like a Mario maker, just have a Spyro maker. Just make your own levels.
I'm really okay with that.
Yeah.
3D video game maker. Oh, man. I want it to happen. I want it to survive. This guy, there it is. Yeah. I mean,
it looks pretty good for...
Yeah.
It looks legit.
Yeah, it looks cool.
That is not going to help in this getting taken down.
It does look awesome.
Looks great. Shit.
yeah. Maybe I've made a terrible mistake here. I mostly put this on here because Tim loves Spyro, and I probably just ruined his dreams. Tim's probably the guy making this, and I'm going to get an angry text right after.
No skills.
It's just after this. It's going to be angry Tim. I just keep thinking about the guy that made Space Harrier for Atari 800, and it took him like 12 years. And he just kept plugging away at it because he wanted to. Totally stole one of Sega's games and put it on a 1980s era computer because he wanted to. But it's one of the most impressive feats of programming I've ever seen. TREYARCH announces changes to Blackout after beta. This by Jessie Wade at IGN. TREYARCH announced on Monday evening changes that they'll be making for the full launch of their Battle Royale mode, Blackout in Call of Duty Black Ops 4 on October 12th. The changes come with player feedback after the beta was extended earlier Monday, with TREYARCH also lifting the cap to 100 players. TREYARCH said they wanted to look at the biggest feedback they received for the Black Ops 4 community for the beta to provide some deeper insights into what we're doing to improve the game. Some of the areas they'll be tracking and updating include armor, audio adjustments, inventory and item management, and Xbox One performance. They've been cautious with major armor changes due to the unique role of armor in Blackout, but they made some adjustments during the beta and will continue to do so before launch. Tina, you playing the Blackout beta?
I haven't, but a lot of us in the office have. And one person in particular is super into it. I think we have a reader question. I can wait to...
Well, let's jump right in there.
Yeah.
This from the almighty Foofy. Doki Doki, Jared and Tina. The COD Black Ops 4 Blackout beta finished yesterday, and the word around the internet is that COD has a winner on its hands. I played it and all of the Battle Royale games out, and it feels like the most fun and most polished experience, even as a beta. However, what does this mean for lowly PUBG? It entered the scene like a comet, but has since fizzled out, losing its crown to FORTNITE. Now, many are saying that Blackout is the PUBG killer. Obviously, FORTNITE shows no signs of slowing down, but Black Ops 4 is in a prime position to knock PUBG down to a distant third place in the Battle Royale hierarchy. What do you think this will mean for PUBG? Do you think it'll eventually die out? In addition, what do you think this will mean for Xbox, since they seem to have banked on the fact that they got this first console port of PUBG? Thanks. We've all had fun with the chicken, so let's move on to the pig. Ham always needs some tender lovin'. Sincerely, Foofy. You missed this, Kevin, but I read Foofy's name first.
Damn it, you were already there?
Oh yeah.
We're just barreling through.
Yeah. Sorry, Kevin. You were absent at your post. You left the watchtower.
This isn't one of the stories.
This is how the White Walker gets
associated with the story.
No, yeah. I don't take notes of questions that are associated with stories.
Do your job, Kevin. All right. So anyway, Tina, your thoughts.
So, yes, I do think so. They said that PUBG would be knocked down to a distant third place. I do think that third place is a good place to put it because although it has slowed down, unlike Fortnite, which has just been ramping up, it's still at, just on PC alone, it's at something like, I looked it up earlier today, it said something like 1 million regular users. Whew. So it's still quite a bit. It's just underperforming from the view of Fortnite and I imagine soon to be Call of Duty Blackout. Because it is a very, from what I've heard, it is a very polished experience. So I have a quote from James Duggan because he's our go-to shooter, especially Call of Duty expert.
Edwin, you mean?
Oh,
young Edwin, indeed.
Edwin
is James's real first name.
No kidding.
Yep.
Live on camera.
Yep.
Also a beautiful voice.
A beautiful man.
Yes.
I mean, let's be honest. Beautiful man, beautiful voice, everything. James Duggan is the total package.
I'm sure he's very glad to have given me this quote now.
Yeah, please continue.
So from James Duggan, his real name, he says that Blackout 100% kills PUBG on Xbox. Blackout runs at 60 frames per second and looks great, while PUBG struggles to hit 30 on the standard Xbox One. And on PC, I think the player base of PUBG is significantly impacted. So it is. It was at 3 million at its peak, and now it's down to 1 million. But 1 million is still not much to scoff at. He goes on to say that PUBG is on a downward slope in terms of daily concurrent users, so time is the PUBG killer ultimately. And I really like that line because I think that's true. I don't think it's necessarily one game. It's just a matter of waiting it out. He says, a lot of the feedback I hear from players who still play PUBG is, I just couldn't get into Fortnite's building. Blackout and PUBG, on the other hand, are a zero-sum game, and it's hard to find anything that PUBG offers that Blackout doesn't do objectively better. I think a worthwhile analogy is Heroes of Newerth, a MOBA that was serviceable and very fun for its time, but was utterly bested when Dota 2 released. The same thing is happening here. Blackout is bringing an amount of polish and playability that PUBG isn't capable of competing with. I think military sim players could still play PUBG, but for 90% of players who are just looking for the best Battle Royale experience without building, Blackout is that game right now.
Being the one to do it first is not always as important as being the one to do it best.
Just got to innovate. Isn't that like a staple of the development world?
It is, and it's easy for us. I'm sure there are people screaming at their cameras that are, if they're watching from PUBG headquarters right now, going, "We are innovating for the love of God!" You know, they're doing. I mean, resources are what they have available to them versus what Activision can do when they want to own this.
Yeah, even honestly, just from a marketing perspective, I mean, they had a little bit of the kerfuffle where they were trying to sue Epic Games, so I don't think that necessarily impacts, and it changes the narrative from the focus on the game to now the focus of the politics between these two warring companies, and then they lost that lawsuit, so that looks pretty bad too.
And there's another part of this too. I mean, we have almost, I think, as a gaming culture, drunk the Kool-Aid of games as a service. We're sitting here talking about in PUBG, I understand early access, etc. We're talking about a very old video game already, a game that has been around a long time, and we're acting surprised that that game may be sunsetting.
Well, maybe that's the problem with early access games too. You know, you're around the conversation a lot longer. It seems like it's been released because people have that access to it. It's not some kind of closed beta situation. So it feels like the game has been out a lot longer than it maybe technically has. So, you know, it feels like it's had that storied history at this point.
I'm going to keep making the argument that there's only so much, particularly in the console arena, there's only so much room for games as a service before they start cannibalizing each other. And you can't have too many active at once.
It's a delicate balance.
It is indeed. Ninja becomes first professional gamer to appear on the cover of ESPN magazine by Adam Bankhurst, IGN. You might have heard of that, ESPN. Tyler Ninja Blevins earned yet another achievement as he's announced that he will be the first professional gamer to be featured on the cover of ESPN the magazine. Ninja revealed the cover on Twitter and said, "So excited to be the first professional gamer to be featured on ESPN the magazine. Cover and profile will be shown on SportsCenter tomorrow in the 7 a.m. Eastern Standard Time hour." Earlier this year, Ninja broke the Twitch streaming record with over 628,000 viewers when he, Drake, Travis Scott, and Juju Smith-Schuster played Fortnite together, later joined by Donald Trump's penis. No, wait, that's not in the article. I just added that. In early August.
Redacted.
Redacted. That didn't actually actually happen. In early August, Ninja became the first streamer to reach 10 million followers on Twitch, and this cover is another first that he can add to his belt. ESPN, the magazine's been in circulation since March 11, 1998, and funnily enough, on its Wikipedia page, it says the frequency of the sports magazine is fortnightly. Oh! 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 Also, it
Spelled
says
differently, though.
Yeah, we'll stop there. And he actually visited IGN not long ago, right? You guys
we did some content.
Where can people find that?
Content, yeah. Oh, I don't know the actual. I mean, it's just IGN.com. Yeah,
there we go.
Google it, man.
Google it, man. There we go. All right,
Sorry.
So another one. IGN head of games says Google it, man, when it comes to IGN.
Google
content.
Ninja 50 rapid fire questions.
There we go. Nicely done.
IGN. Maybe
All
throw
right,
an
what do you think
IGN
about
in there.
this? You dropped this one in, Tina. This is...
Yeah, I just think it's fascinating. What a career this guy has had.
Yeah.
I mean, he's become, the most viewed streamer at this point?
Is he? Is he the most viewed ever? I don't know. I actually don't have...
It was after the whole
calendar.
Drake thing that kind of boosted his numbers. So it's just been amazing to see the celebritydom of video game world and how it has rapidly evolved.
Once again, much like our earlier story, a cultural moment.
It's a cultural moment, exactly. And it's that whole crossover thing. That's why it's a cultural moment.
It's good for esports. It's good for Ninja. It's
great for Ninja.
It's probably good for ESPN, frankly. And it's a more palatable.
They feel ahead of the
cultural
curve, they're speaking to the youngins.
This is the youngins, indeed.
It's that episode from 30 Rock where that detective guy goes and he's just like, "Hey kids, what's up?" And he's just, what's his name?
I don't know, but I think that by referring to 30 Rock about speaking about the youngins,
yeah.
I'm worried that we may have alienated ourselves from the youngins. I think we're just...
We need Ninja in here.
Let us know.
It's a great show and everyone should watch it.
Yeah, absolutely. Also, you are totally a youngin. Definitely.
That's true.
Yeah.
Sort of.
Definitely true.
Not at heart.
Not at heart.
Yeah.
You're not young at heart?
No.
Are you old at heart?
Medically speaking, no.
That's so depressing.
This got morbid.
Tina
It's
Amini
no longer kind of sad.
collapses on camera.
Fully
Kinda
sad,
funny
yeah.
today. Stick around for that. And you're wrong. Sega Classics coming to Switch from Wesley LeBlanc at Big Twinfinite. Sega announced today the Sega Genesis Classics Collection will be making its way to the Switch later this year. Originally released on PS4, Xbox One, and PC earlier this year, the Nintendo Switch will be the next console to see Sega Genesis Classics on the storefront, except the Switch edition will come with some brand new features, according to Sega. Threw this on here because, yet again, an example of something I've been harping about. I've been working on a project around this for a while. Nintendo has always managed to sell us their games over and over again, but they have somehow found a way to sell us other people's games over and over again on Switch. It's amazing
very
thing.
impressive. I mean, they're the nostalgia machines, right? So, yeah.
But it's a good home for these games. Are you familiar with this particular Genesis collection?
So I actually had put this story on my notes to potentially introduce as well. So I'm glad that you put it in there. One of the new features is that you can do local co-op split screen. So I think that's pretty cool.
That you can just sit there, split the screen up and play
and you have
side by side?
it's perfect, right? You got the Joy-Cons, you pull them out.
I like that too. I think that's really nice. Anything you can do on your couch with friends, I'm a fan of.
Exactly. Couch play all the way.
Couch play is awesome.
But I also, so it's 50 titles that are included in this, and 3 of the titles are the first 3 Streets of Rages, which I think is cool because we're getting a Streets of Rage 4.
Yeah.
So if you want to prepare.
Are they? What's the plural of Streets of Rage? Is it Streets of Rage or Streets of Rages?
Streets of Rage.
Streets is of Rage.
Streets is of all the rage.
Streets is of all the rage. There
Maximum
we go.
rage.
Now I got the Streets of Rage 4 coming. Yeah, I have. As much as I love this collection on other consoles, the one on Steam, the Genesis collection on Steam, allows me to do mods, which allows me to drop the Ninja Turtles into Streets of Rage 2, which is all I want in life.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
That's
but Switch, everything's better on Switch.
Everything is better on Switch. But
right.
when they add Ninja Turtles, I'm on board. I am excited about this. And finally, one that you dropped in here, Sea of Thieves Forsaken Shores update delayed by Adam Bankhurst of IGN. Would you mind reading this one,
Okay,
Tina?
sure. And there's a key picture that goes along with this. There's one reason why I mentioned this. So Sea of Thieves backstory is a game that has actually a really active community. For us at IGN, we haven't managed to find a way to cover it that really speaks to that community. I think that's just one of those things. People want to play it, they don't want to read about it. So it's very active. So I won't, mock the news story outside of that. But there is one key point that I want to reference. So Sea of Thieves Forsaken Shores update delayed, and it's not by long. Sea of Thieves update, upcoming update Forsaken Shores has been delayed from its September 19th release date to next Thursday, September 27th. So not that bad.
No, not bad at all.
Yeah. Last Friday, I do not know how to say Joe's last name.
That's all right.
Yeah,
we'll
I did
just
not
say
prepare for
neat.
that. Neat. I like that. Executive producer of Sea of Thieves posted a progress update on Forsaken Shores and said that they are, quote, that they, quote, are currently nearing the end of our polish and bug fixing phase, and our goal is to ensure we deliver a stable, polished, and bug-free experience to all our players. Also brought up were a few issues that arose with previous updates, such as the, quote, unfortunate spyglass incident, and that's the one that you should totally Google.
Unfortunate spyglass incident.
Yeah, just maybe spyglass Sea of Thieves. And flying ships, and the team wants to ensure that this launches as smooth as possible. And we can kind of end it there because, so the delay is short. It's really just a polish bug thing. But I think it's hilarious that, oh man, of course it's, maybe bug. Maybe do spyglass bug.
There we go. Oh, we should have prepped Kevin. Kevin, this is my fault.
Okay, so that first image works. So this is the unfortunate spyglass incident that they are trying to...
I don't see what's unfortunate
that they're trying
here.
to avoid by delaying it. Actually, so the fourth picture and then the sixth picture also.
I don't see the problem.
The one before that.
Oh, sorry.
Okay, so all we need to do is take Sea of Thieves and somebody Photoshop Toad down there, and we're just...
would you prefer to be related to a spyglass from Sea of Thieves or Toad from Mario Kart?
I think I definitely, again, I want to be able to look at my genitals and have them not scream, okay, at me. So I'm going with the spyglass. So you prefer the spyglass? Yeah. What about you?
If I had a penis?
Yeah.
I think I would go spyglass just because it's like bigger, and I hear that that's what people appreciate, right? That's like the big bravado thing.
I mean,
and Toad is small and been related to Trump, so I would prefer to also avoid that.
Okay, there you go. Excellent. There we are.
I fucking love this. This is hilarious.
Yeah, so that's
so glad I included this story.
So today on the Kind of Funny Penis Cast. Oh, that's been
how did we get two references?
There's been a lot of penises today.
There have been, yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's all the news about penises. And even though it's been a very long show so far, we've actually kept it to about 5 minutes per item. So
we need
I'm
a baker's dozen the next time specific to that.
Specific to the penis? Yeah. 13 penis stories all in a row? The tale of 13
That's
penises.
The dream.
And Amazon...
boy.
I can't speak to it, but sure.
No, sarcasm. I'm from New York. Everything I say is not real.
So that's penises. But if we want to talk about video games in particular, about video games you could play today,
yes.
Where would we go?
Oh, I have to do that. That's me. That's my cue. The official list of upcoming software across each and every platform as listed by the Kind of Funny Games Daily Show hosts each and every weekday.
Yeah! Nicely done, Kevin.
Not me?
Today. What's that?
Not nicely done, Tina?
No. Sorry, Kev. You read it wonderfully, Tina.
Thank
I'm
you.
sorry.
Thank you. I need affirmation.
I needed to give you accolades today. You deserve them.
Thank you.
You didn't get your accolades.
I mean, otherwise it's just me saying it in the mirror every day to myself.
I thought you did a very good job.
Thank you.
How many times did you practice this?
What, that line? The one time when you told me that I'd be doing it.
Okay.
That was that one time. Was it better than the first time?
Yes.
Yeah, it's always better the second time.
If you say that into a mirror, Greg Miller appears. Like if you say it 3 times. Like,
oh my God, like Candyman.
Exactly. Turn out the lights,
That's
say it 3
terrifying.
times, and Greg Miller appears. He's got a Spider-Man mask on and no shirt. So Nintendo Switch Online releases tonight.
Yes, it does. Very exciting.
This evening.
Yeah.
So,
it was kind of delayed. It was supposed to be out today, but they're doing server maintenance.
Yeah, the number I've been hearing is around 8 Pacific, or pardon me, 8 Eastern for the drop and 11 Eastern for the actual being able to use it.
It's a window, for a few hours after 8 Eastern.
Yeah,
why are you talking Eastern times?
I don't know. We can talk
the
Pacific.
West Coast.
5.
Time sucks.
Whatever.
Pacific Coast.
West Coast, best coast,
West
but
Coast, best coast.
most people live out there.
I can't attest to that.
Nobody knows that for a fact.
Yeah, I East Coast or West Coast, Tina?
Well, obviously East Coast.
Yeah.
No, don't do that.
At heart.
Here, it's better here.
I do.
You know it.
Yeah, but I genuinely hate San Francisco.
I also hate San Francisco, and I'm likewise on the East Coast team. Team East Coast.
I like LA though.
Hey, Tina, we both like the East Coast. Would you like to do a hand slap?
Yes.
Don't act like that's a
We're
normal
such
thing,
nerds.
Tina. Hand
What?
slapping is not
hand
a
slap?
normal term that people use.
We totally just
On
hand
the East
slap.
Coast.
On the East Coast.
Oh, no way.
That's right. That's where it came
Thank
from.
God.
More people there. So yeah, Nintendo Switch Online releases tonight. Also, Anodyne for PS4, The Bard's Tale 4, Barrows Deep for PC, Blind for PSVR and PC, Capcom Beat 'em Up Bundle for PS4, Xbox One, and Switch. Cannot wait to play this. Beat 'em ups, especially with online play. You're probably going to play each of these games precisely once you get a group of friends to figure out how it works. But playing a beat 'em up with a group of friends is just great, even if you never do it again. Are you a fan of beat 'em ups at all?
Sure, yeah. With friends, yeah.
Yeah, beat 'em up. What's one you enjoy?
I don't know off the top of my head.
No, I'm a D&D Shadows of Mysteria is the standout. And that one you can play over and over because it's got paths and stuff and magic spells and loot and all kinds of crazy stuff. But yeah, Capcom beat 'em up. But Captain Commando features a mummy with a pair of knives as a character. It's got a baby driving a robot as a character. It's bizarre and wonderful. Love it.
That is bizarre.
Yep, 7 games in one bundle. Downward Spiral, Horus Station for PSVR, Fishing Sim World for PS4, Xbox One, and PC, Hover Revolt of Gamers, PS4, that sounds like a message board, Labyrinth of Refrain, Coven of Dusk for PS4, Switch, and PC. Despite its long name, really interesting looking game. I played a little bit of that at E3, and it's a pretty neat looking dungeon crawler. Legendary Fishing, PS4 and Switch, Neon Wall for PS4, Omvorm for Switch, RGX Showdown for PS4, Scribblenauts Mega Pack, PS4, Xbox One, and Switch. That includes DC Scribblenauts, as well as Scribblenauts Unlimited. Speed Brawl for PS4, Xbox One, and Switch. Splody for PS4, Sword of the Guardian for Switch, Transference for PSVR and Xbox One and PC. And finally, you asked for it, you got it, Undertale for Switch.
So good to see so many Switch titles.
Yeah. Any of these especially exciting for you, Tina?
Yeah, I think Undertale. I think everyone at the office actually is super pumped about Undertale. We're probably going to re-promote our review today.
I think that's a very good idea because that's a fine video game. Greg Miller's wrong. It's really good.
And Ryan McCaffrey has said that he's previewed the Bard's Tale for like 5. Actually, I think he's previewed it 4 times, which is really convenient.
Oh wow, that's a lot of previews.
Yeah, it is. But he's a big fan. So
okay, well, Bard's Tale was a really cool series back in the day.
Yeah,
and it injected like humor into dungeon crawling in a really cool
I do
way.
feel like it's lost relevance, but Ryan says that the 4th entry is a good one.
Things often, it's very hard to make that comeback. But in a world where Streets of Rage 4 can happen, in a world where
there you go, nostalgia, it counts for a lot.
Yeah, and occasional we They put release Shenmue at this point. I think we get any Lock and Chase.
It's happening. It has a date, right?
It does have a date. What, Shenmue?
Yeah.
It's out.
3?
No, 2. 1 and 2. They released 1 and 2.
Oh, yeah.
3,
no, I'm talking about 3.
Oh, they will never come out.
It has a release date, I think. I think at Gamescom.
I mean, lots of things have release dates. I'll believe I trust that as much as I trust the Kingdom Hearts release date. Yeah. NBA 2K Playgrounds 2 release date announced by SHABANA ARIF of IGN. 2K is announced. NBA 2K Playgrounds 2. It's coming to PC and consoles on October 16th, 2018. Also, this one from IGN CD Projekt Red has announced that Thronebreaker: The Witcher Tales, the standalone single-player campaign for Gwent the Witcher card game, will be released on PC via GOG on October 23rd, 2018, and for PS4 and Xbox One on December 4th, 2018. Deals of the day. Really excited about this one, thanks to Wario64. Game Dev Story is $1 today on iOS.
That's cheap.
Yeah, you play Game Dev Story?
I haven't. This might be the moment.
This is the moment. Tina, that game's great.
Yeah, that's what I've heard.
It's Kairosoft at its best.
Yeah.
It's just like, hey, start a game development studio in like early 80s Japan.
Miserable.
And keep it open as long as you... Kinda. It's really great.
The true experience.
Aw, making games...
Kinda sad. We're kind of sad here today.
Kind of sad. No, we're kind of happy. Kind of great. Kind of today. Kind of something. It's time for Reader Mail, brought to you by MeUndies. Ladies and gentlemen, you spend a significant portion of your life in your underwear. If you don't, I'm not sure I want to know you. MeUndies use a micromodal fabric, which is a full 3 times softer than regular cotton. I couldn't believe, and I mean this is there on the ad read, but I have experienced it firsthand. I could not believe how soft my MeUndies were. They're incredible. It's the exact fabric that you want down there. Tina, you ever worn some MeUndies?
Is this the one where it's like they match for the his and hers?
Oh, I mean, yeah, they do that.
That's like all the advertisements.
We're in the middle of one of those advertisements right now. They release multiple fun prints each month with matching socks, matching bralettes.
Yeah, there you go.
All kinds of wonderful prints there. You can get a matching pair with your partner.
That's what, I see the advertisements for that all the time. They seem really cute.
You could be walking around with somebody and be like, I know that we're wearing identical underwear right now.
Hint, hint, wink, wink.
I know, it's kind of cool. Yeah. I mean, and they are just ridiculous.
Are you even a couple if you aren't matching your underwear?
It's a really great question to ask. I don't know. Kevin, if you and I wear matching underwear, are we a couple? No. All right. But
why are you denying the love?
We could still wear matching underwear.
Not there.
It's a 100% satisfaction guarantee for MeUndies. You're going to love these undies. If you're not into it, just send it back for a full refund. MeUndies just launched a brand new membership. You can level up with your top drawer with new undies each month. Greg loves his MeUndies. It's all he ever wears. Members gain access to exclusive prints no one else can get, special member pricing on every product that MeUndies makes, and you can switch styles or skip any month you want. So, ladies and gentlemen, get your 15% off your first pair. Free shipping, a 100% satisfaction guarantee. Go to MeUndies.com/gamesdaily. That's MeUndies.com/gamesdaily. MeUndies, they're just as good as we're telling you they are.
Holy shit, you can have a subscription to underwear.
You can indeed. You could right now at a 15% discount.
2018.
You want a discount? This is your time.
I suppose so. I don't know that I need that regular intake of it.
Get 15%. Well, it's 15% off your first pair, actually. So
that's true.
Also, we're sponsored today by Loot Crate. What's the last Loot gaming that you received? What was in it? What did you love? Friends, fans, we'd love to know, because you can get beyond the game with Loot Gaming. Get a surprise assortment of official exclusive gear and collectibles, including Marvel Spider-Man, Sonic the Hedgehog, Doom, Metal Gear Solid. Ladies and gentlemen, what is Loot Gaming? It's a monthly subscription box delivered direct to your door with exclusive video game collectibles, apparel, and gear. Loot Gaming curates and designs everything themselves. You can't find the items there anywhere else. No matter what you geek out about, this is for you. Over 30 million crates have been sold by Loot Crate. Why? Because it's good product. Our Loot Gaming Crate, is a curated collection of items from the best video game franchises. Loot Gaming packs $60 of value into each crate for less than $30 a month. You simply can't lose. And Loot Crate Gaming also offers 16 other awesome crates, from WWE to anime. Subscribe now and give yourself a birthday present every month. This crate will sell out. You only have until Thursday, September 22nd. So Thursday, September 27th at 9 p.m. to guarantee your order, or this crate will be gone forever. Once again, you only have until Thursday, September 27th at 9 p.m. to guarantee your order, or this crate will be gone forever. This is a limited time offer. So run out there and grab it right now. This gaming crate. You get the best surprises each month from the largest geek and gaming subscription company. Geek out in style with Loot Gaming. There's a guaranteed t-shirt in every crate. That alone pays for the cost of the subscription. You know you want it. Subscribe now by going to lootcrate.com/KFMS and enter the code KFMS to save an additional 15% off your subscription. Once again, subscribe now by going to lootcrate.com/KFMS and enter the code KFMS to save an additional 15% off your subscription. There we go.
Very cool.
Indeed. Mm-hmm. Now, from Chris. I love the show and the hosts, but sometimes I feel isolated by the fact that I don't like single-player games. My question is, are you guys able to every once in a while pander to the multiplayer community with new game suggestions? Chris, that's an excellent question. I'll let Tina address it first, and then I'll respond.
Well, I can't speak to this show.
Yeah.
But simply because you use 3 question marks, yes.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So that's the reason?
Yeah.
The 3 question marks take it over the top?
I actually frequently use 2 question marks to exhibit my excitement, so I appreciate that there are people out there that do the same.
A trifecta of question marks.
Yeah, a trifecta of question marks. But yeah, I mean, I get it. I love single player games, so I'm totally happy to rail on and on and on about the characters and the motivations and the settings and the visuals, and just talk about the storyline and all the arcs. I love that kind of conversation, but I get it. And I think that there's a different kind of narrative to the multiplayer experience. One of my favorite reviews I've ever written was for the original Titanfall. And I liked the way that I framed the review this was for Kotaku at the time. The way that I framed the review was the stories and narratives that happened in my multiplayer experiences. And if you remember, that game did not have a single player at all. It was just a multiplayer game. But it still felt like it had stories that I could talk about, but they were stories that I had with my teammates and with my enemies. So I think there's totally life to even kind of confuse the two. The stories
that happen to you.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Which in a way, is more personal and interesting, or can be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about right now? Is there anything multiplayer over the last year that's really grabbed you?
Well, so at IGN we talk about Destiny. We have a Destiny show. Where that's all we talk about. And we have our Call of Duty experts, our Battlefield experts. So, it's called Oh crap! I don't even.
Fire
Team Chat. Thank you. It slipped my mind. I was like the Daily. That's not it.
Yep, you've got Fire Team Chat. You've got Fortnite Show. Whatever they ended up naming that.
Yeah, and then we're also like discussing other potential future shows. But we talk about Call of Duty games all the time. We talk about Battlefield all the time. And then my personal favorite, which we don't have a show for, but it's been the multiplayer game that I've played most recently, is Mario Tennis.
Oh, rad!
Yeah, and that's because it scratches my competitive itch. Yeah. Oh boy.
Well, that's a game where the single player mode was kind of disappointing for most people.
Oh yeah, no garbage. Don't even play it. Just completely gloss over it. Actually, I think you unlock some stuff if you play through.
Yeah.
But completely garbage as far as I'm concerned. It is the multiplayer is where it's at, and it's really fun to like sit on the couch with someone or play remotely or whatever it is. Play doubles.
As for multiplayer games, I don't like other people. So with the exception of occasional couch co-op I will play ice hockey with you on Switch Online.
Have you ever played Battle Block Theater?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So cute.
Yeah, Battle Block Theater. What brought Battle Block Theater? Oh my.
Is that better?
I think you got to move Toad to the left. Oh wow, that's really good.
I like that he's pointing at them though.
I know, I like that too.
Yeah, that's really good.
Cute.
All right, this is.
Yeah, he's like, do you see this?
Yeah.
You should be really proud, Kevin.
He's so
that's
pure
spectacular.
and innocent.
It's such a bad Photoshop.
If you're listening right now,
you just need to tweak the light.
Look at the thumbnail for this episode on YouTube. You really do. Today's the day. This from DRex87. Today's the day that Nintendo Switch Online launches, but I'm still. Pronounced Dee-Row from Dee-Row87. Today's the day that Nintendo Switch Online launches, but I'm still a bit fuzzy on how access to the library of classic Nintendo games will work. Will we be able to download the games to play like Xbox Games Pass, or we have to stream the games like PlayStation Now? I have apologized if you've addressed this before, but I feel like this detail has been glossed over whenever the new online service is discussed. Thanks for your help. My understanding is that they're available streaming style, but because a Nintendo ROM is so ridiculously, unthinkably small, like a Nintendo ROM is measured not in megs or gigs, but in K. Mm-hmm. It's simply a ridiculously tiny thing that I suspect that it's just tucking them away in a corner of your memory somewhere and then checking to see. I can't confirm that, but since they work when you're away for up to a week, I think it's probably just popping them all into your storage medium somewhere. Yeah, so that's the key detail that kind of informs what it is. I believe you do download it and play. You're not like streaming because you can play offline. Yeah. It's just the check-in is for your subscription to make sure that you have an online subscription. So at this point, we call it a streaming service, but I think it's streaming the whole thing down to you and then held in cache somewhere. That would be my guess. I'm not a technical expert, but I think that's probably how it works. It's been a long show, so we're headed for Squad Up. This one from Callum Hurley. Hey, Kind of Funny Games Daily Crew. This coming Sunday, the 23rd of September, I'm hosting a panel at EGX 2018. That's the Eurogamer Expo on the future of VR. It's my first time hosting a panel. I think it's a great opportunity for furthering my career in the VR industry. So I'd like to ask if you guys have any advice for hosting or being on a panel. I know you guys do this regularly, so any kind of advice or insight would be invaluable. Secondly, I'm unsurprisingly concerned about being able to gather an audience. Like most trade shows, there are tons of exciting new games to play, and also many exciting developer panels. My panel happens to take place at the same time as Media Molecule's Dreams panel. So I'm worried I won't have much of an audience. Do you have any advice on how to get an audience? And is it possible you could inform UK best friends about the panel via Kind of Funny Games Daily? Consider yourself so informed, best friends in the UK. We have some really exciting panels from all realms of the VR industry. Arcades, hardware and headset ergonomics, developers, community managers, influencers. It's going to be a lot of fun. Influencers. It's going to be a lot of fun. I hope some UK best friends who are attending EGX next Sunday can make it. Thanks for all you do. Buy the chicken some flowers once in a while. This one from Callum. So that first question, any advice on hosting or being on a panel? Absolutely. Completely over-prepare. So that's the overview of that. But so I actually haven't hosted a lot of panels. But what I did was I made sure I use my phone quite often. I have a timer, which, we have one as well, just so you're consistently keeping track of how much time you have left and your questions. I keep my notes of the questions that I will be asking. And what I do when I write my notes down is I make sure to bold certain keywords so that at a glance, I could look at it, remember what my question is, and then still be engaged in the conversation. A couple other tips from hosting recent panels is the first time I hosted a panel, it was for Facebook Gaming at E3 this year. And I'm mostly
mostly left it to the panelists to have the conversations. And I felt I came away thought it was informative, but a little dry.
Yeah.
And so you have a responsibility as the host to kind of have those conversations ongoing. So I wouldn't be afraid of, at the time I didn't want to inject myself, but after that I hosted a Facebook gaming panel again at Gamescom, and I decided to kind of inject myself, and I felt like it was a little bit more natural, and it also suggested to the panelists that they could be a little bit more natural themselves rather than question, answer.
That's all great advice.
Thank you.
That's fantastic.
And then there was another one that I had that I forget now.
Sorry.
Research. So this is part of the over-preparedness, is researching the hell out of your panelists, even if you know them very well.
Yeah.
I think it's worth doing a Google, seeing if anything new came out, something in their past. One of the panelists that I researched, I went back 7 years in her YouTube history, which I feel a little bit stalkery about doing. Yeah, but it was really interesting because she made a video about her mom viewing her YouTube comments about her, and what that experience was like for her mom to be reading all these kind of nasty, sexualized, whatever else comments about her daughter, and then the conversation that they had. And I thought that was a fascinating point to bring up, because the panel was about women in gaming and your experiences. So because I'd done that research, I was able to ask that question. So do your research on the topic, on the panelists, on everything.
I'm not going to be able to add a lot to Tina's expert advice here. I've done 3 panels in the last 2 or 3 weeks, I think, a couple at PAX and one at Crunchyroll Expo with Yuji Horii. And in addition to everything Tina just said, which is all right, breathe, relax, have fun. If you prepare, understand that no matter how well you prepare, you're not going to get everything in you thought you were going
Absolutely,
to.
yeah.
So
you will
it's
likely
okay.
run over time, which is always good.
Just let it go. You're
That's why
okay.
you have to have the stopwatch, so you can know how much time you have left, so you can skip over certain questions to get to the meat.
Exactly. And when you say skip over some questions, remember your audience doesn't know your plan. You know you left something out.
Yeah.
They don't.
Yeah, you can kind of on the fly tweak that as needed.
Exactly. And they'll never know the difference. Just have fun, man. Have a good time. Enunciate, use
your booming Jared voice.
Yeah, booming Jared voice. Surely not.
No, I think so. You're good.
my
You're
God.
very energetic.
Oh,
That's
man.
how you got to be.
That's very kind of you to
Open
say.
the water beforehand. The last panel I was on, I felt awkward about opening the water in the middle of it for some reason. So I just sat there staring at it I would love some water right now, and I don't know why I'm not just doing it. So open it beforehand.
Yeah.
But
you don't want to
also-
make noise in the middle.
No, it's fine to just open it during. No one's gonna be why is she opening the water?
Because I didn't want to make
now?
noise and distract.
The mics aren't great usually on panels.
That's true,
So they're not
yeah.
gonna pick up.
Yeah, the last panel I was at was at PAX, and it was just standard PAX mics.
Yep.
Yeah, that's fair.
And that's a good one too. If you have access to the sound crew before the panel, sit down with the whole panel, practice, make sure you can hear each other.
Yeah.
Because that's one of the hardest things.
And a lot of people tend to I feel like I might have been doing it just now actually, is just kind of turning and looking because you want to be natural, but you want to make sure you're still centered around the mic.
Oh no, we can look at each other here. It's okay.
Yeah.
It looks completely natural. I've
But still,
I've kind of been
at
dancing on
a
my
panel,
chair
you
all
never
day.
know. So that's why it's
Right.
good to make sure.
Also, I advise you, if you plan on using this later on, even if it's being streamed, even if it's being recorded, even if it's being taped, bring your own extra camera and your own audio recorder and hook it into the sound rig and get a backup. Because sometimes
backup.
the stream to say, you're doing a Superman panel with Greg Miller, and the stream directly through Twitch somehow just goes away and is lost forever. And fortunately, you have an audio backup and you're happy about it.
Yes, always backup.
Always good to have. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it has been one heck of a Games Daily. I am so terrified of the YouTube comments on the link to this thing, but you know what? We're just forging ahead, and it's time to see what we got wrong. We've had a lot of time to get things wrong. What do you think? How much should we get wrong?
Oh, I don't know. Is this for today?
Oh, this is right now. They're going to correct us.
Oh, no.
This is how it works.
It's okay. I'm an editor.
They went to kindoffunny.com.
I feel that is,
we do this every day.
It's part of the process.
All right, where's that code? I should know it by now.
Yeah, it's several days now you've done it.
You know what, Kevin?
That's the first thing you got wrong.
All right. Okay, well, first off,
She got you, Jared.
this from Zaire, the X in Kingdom Hearts Union X is pronounced key.
Bullshit. Move on.
Yeah, okay. Kingdom Hearts 358 over 2 days is pronounced Kingdom Hearts 358 days over 2. Hey guys, the actor
But that
you're
was a
referring
joke.
That was from Zaire also. The actor you're referring to on 30 Rock is Steve Buscemi. That's from Eric. Kebab says, according to Business Insider, the top 5 Twitch streamers our internal follower count are number 1, Ninja, and then some other guys. Thank you. They're Kebabs. We were right about that.
So wait, we were right. Yeah.
Yeah, he's confirmed.
Oh, okay, cool. Thank you.
Let's see. Soul Knight Storm says, I'm from Miami, originally from Chicago, and we do not call it a hand slap.
Damn it, man. You're not supposed to tell people.
Get it right. Get it right.
Ew, hand slap. It's so gross sounding.
It is kind of gross sounding.
Let's see. Kebab says the joke about a baker's dozen is it never hits 13 items. Considering how upsetting the Trump story was in the chat, you'll probably be a contentious moment in Kind of Funny Games daily history. Oh, great.
Oh,
Thanks.
boy.
No one washes a belt, says Brian McMahon. Let's see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That sounds like a personal opinion than a fact.
Bro,
Yeah,
it's
that's more
not
of an
a small
opinion.
belt.
Lords of Pwn says actually only 12 Guardians beat the raid in the first 24 hours. The third team of 6 finished 24 hours and 2 minutes, just missing out on the emblem. Let's see. Chitty Chat says, Jared said, let us know, and you're wrong if Tina's jokes are funny. Jared was wrong. That's not what the You're Wrong for segment is for. Jared, please. You know what? I stand properly chastened. Chitty Chat was correct. All right. I think that that probably wraps it up. So we did pretty good.
Yeah, I feel like that's not that bad. There was a confirmation in there, so that was pretty good.
Indeed. Ladies and gentlemen, we have done Vidya Games. We have done 13 stories. We have done way more with penises than we ever thought we'd do here today. Tina Amini, you do great stuff over there at IGN.
Thank you.
Anything you want to highlight in particular before we go off the air?
No, just keep an eye out. We have a lot of interesting big previews coming up. That's all I'll say.
I want to thank y'all for being our audience today, for caring about what we do and for allowing us to do what we do, despite our ridiculousness. Each of you is treasured in our hearts for the fact that you've chosen to invest a portion of your lives in this show. So I appreciate it, and see you next time.
That was heartfelt.